A 64-year-old man named Hannibal Hernandez Santana has been arrested as the suspect in the shooting that led to an investigation here at ABC 10 in Sacramento along Broadway. And as the sun has risen this morning, you can see for yourself plywood over one of the windows in the lobby there. Now, earlier in the day on Friday, police were called here in response to shots fired from outside the ABC 10's building. No one was injured despite the building being occupied at the time. 3 bullet holes were seen in the window on the building's lobby, and that's when the investigation began. Later the same day, KCRA3 saw police in the River Park neighborhood, including SWAT teams. A witness at the scene reported seeing a man tackled and then taken into custody. Sacramento police thanked the FBI for providing resources in its investigation and have asked anyone with further information to contact their department.
Meanwhile,
and this is just the latest chapter in Donald Trump's ongoing campaign to crack down on free speech, dominate the media, and essentially render the First Amendment meaningless. So it was for the journeyman cable news host Tucker Carlson, just fired from his third network. He believed he could say anything, no matter how vile, no matter how disgusting, no matter how offensive, no matter how dehumanizing or belittling. And if you act like a sociopath over and over and over and over, you will become unpopular on the national stage. That's just like a basic principle. Over time, probably not going to work out well for you in the long run. Eventually, people will be rightly offended, disgusted.
Yes, these people are facing difficulties to explain this. We have seen what has happened recently. Jimmy getting cancer. They started pointing fingers. Oh, Trump has done this, done that. Now look at this. Jimmy came in and accused MAGA just 2 days after this is happening. You might be thinking the person who did this will face consequences. You'll be wrong. When you take a look at a tweet like this, you can clearly see the guy has been released. Yes, on bail. And at the end of the day, you'll be thinking liberals will put people like this behind bars. According to this tweet, the leftists who shot up a local ABC station over their suspension of Jimmy has just been released on bail. What the F? Why are we allowing literal leftists to back onto American street? He should be taken into federal custody. These are people on earth reacting to it.
Jimmy. Your buddy Pat Boone, though we actually haven't met yet, though I've spent many hours enjoying your wit and your ability to interview and interact with almost anybody, except Brad Pitt for some reason. I don't know what that's about. But gradually, you and Stephen Colbert have increasingly abused your freedom of speech. I don't know if you're aware of that. You thought you could infect the airwaves and consciences of millions of watchers without regard to their differing and actually opposite views and beliefs, while networks and sponsors were paying you millions to entertain, amuse, and help them end their days feeling good. You've chosen to infect and insult the intelligence, strongly held political views and convictions, and increasing instances, actual facts, with your very personal freedom to say whatever you want on the public airwaves. Well, you still have that precious freedom, Jimmy, and I'm sure you're still vehemently employing it to anybody who wants to hear what you have to say right now. But say whatever you choose to Bill Maher or Howard Stern or other programs whose sponsors profit from and share your views. But learn that networks and sponsors who pay dearly to reach viewers who don't share your views and are seriously offended by them to continue to pay a significant price to give you the platform to their own detriment. You're still perfectly free to say anything you want anywhere you choose, but freedom isn't free. As you're finding out shockingly, there is a responsibility that comes with it and consequence from its misuse. And that's why it's so precious. So shout on, speak your views publicly in the streets without fear. But don't expect to be paid millions when you bite the hand that feeds you. I love you, buddy.
Life is weird. It was 24 years to the day that I made comments on ABC that got me canceled from that network, and Jimmy Kimmel took my slot. Did you know that? At Politically Incorrect? Oh, yes, I got canceled before cancel even had a culture. So the headline. Yeah. This is on my wall from the Variety. White House keeps heat on ABC's more. This shit ain't new. It's worse, we'll get to that, but, you know, ABC, they are steady. ABC stands for Always Be Caving. So, Jimmy, pal, I am with you. I support you. And on the bright side, you don't have to pretend anymore that you like Disneyland. That was always a great part of it for me when I got my ass canned over there.
You know you are wrong if a legend like this is coming out against you. I don't know why Libras don't see this. Jimmy did something wrong. We should acknowledge that. He should apologize for what he said. That was just normal. When these people realize Jimmy is not backing down, he still want to fuel it, they say, oh, we can't continue with you. His show was cancelled. Immediately, they start pointing fingers at Trump. Oh, Trump has done this, he has done that, he has done this. At a certain point, I started questioning, like, Trump was not even aware that something like this has happened. Watching the White House press secretary today, she said Trump was in the UK. They were busy doing something different. She was the one who saw it, went up to the president like this has happened. So why are people calling out Trump for doing this? This company has their own reasons why they decided to fire him. Maybe they're waiting for one opportunity to do that.
The United States has the most robust speech protections in the world. The First Amendment here is much more rigorous than the protections accorded the average British citizen. That does not excuse Jimmy Kimmel's idiocy on Monday night. And ABC is a private company, and unlike you and I right now, they operate in a regulated world on a broadcast network using the public spectrum. So they have an even higher obligation to the public. But I think what ABC was anticipating is they're going to lose half to three-quarters of their audience, and the advertisers are going to flee because Kimmel simply lied about Charlie Fanatic. And that can be said over and over again, and you can't get away from that. So the decision to suspend and I suspect eventually cancel Kimmel is a business decision by ABC. When FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr came out and made comments about that, all he was doing was underscoring that the FCC has to regulate in the...
Yes, when you take a look at this, Hillary Clinton says Trump pulling Jimmy off the air is about silencing critics, not comedy. He's canceling his opponent, not jokes. That isn't about FFC rules. It is about raw political control. This is what Hillary Clinton said. I don't know why these people will continue to spew this. I want to see the evidence that proves that Trump did this. I think I'm going to do a whole segment. I'm going to bring this video where the White House actually explained everything. Trump did not know that this was even going on. It was the UK, like I said at the beginning of this video. People now coming out to say, oh, Trump did this, that. I don't understand. Yeah, they will always say this.
Attacking MAGA as working very hard to capitalize on them. We want to capitalize. We're in mourning, you asshole. We're not capitalizing early. We're in mourning. You leftist losers are out there trying to blame us, trying to disparage his legacy. And we're trying to correct you, and we're trying to correct the record. And for once, we're fighting back. That's what you're talking about. You're just not used to it. We get to Wednesday, and Disney and ABC are now in meltdown because, according to the Hollywood Reporter,
I was a Democrat all my life. They better figure out how they lost people like me. Okay?
This is Kamala Harris.
I want them to stop fooling around with my right to say what I feel.
Part of who we are.
Because that is really something that didn't happen before.
Did anybody else watch The View? Because I think there's some drama, or at the very least some tea in and ready for Joy, Sunny, Anna, and Whoopi to give their perspectives on what happened to Jimmy. And guess what? They said nothing.
I'm going to say one.
Look,
There are certain rules of free speech that we must all abide by. But in case anyone needs a refresher, we're going to go over the rules again.
He does not have a right to have a television show where he lies his ass off to the American people.
Well, there are repercussions to spreading lies.
How you doing?